Hello, everybody. Welcome on EduTap and also welcome to the success story series that is currently going on for NABARD Grade A 2023 examination, of which result has just been out. See, there are two sort of vacancies that come in the notification. One being the journalist, where any background, any aspirant from any background can appear for the examination. Then one is specialist, where you need to have a specific background, a special background, and there's a lot of information, previous year questions, videos that exist in generalist post, but for specialists there is very limited information. So today we have come up with one interview with the specialist with a specialist post for the forestry. Mr. Wungshap has recently cleared this examination for the forestry vacancy, and that is why I'm saying that whoever aspirant belong to forestry, please watch this session till the end, because sir is going to discuss what sort of questions are asked in NABARD examination, which is actually not present. In fact, he struggled it while searching for it, but he had its sources afterward. We will understand what were the sources and what are the best books that one can follow if they want to appear for the forestry specialist first for NABARD Grade A examination. But before that, first let's just welcome him and congratulate him. So, Mr. Wungshap, welcome on EduTap and heartiest congratulations on your big win.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm feeling very nostalgic and I'm very happy. All my family are happy. I'm very happy. So this is a great moment for me.
In fact, we are also very happy. It really, as a mentor and as as people who are engaged in this sector, it really feels good when when somebody clears examination. When we get to know that no aspirants, they were giving their day and night to for an exam and they finally clear it and the aspirant phase is over, so that we are also very overwhelmed and we also are very happy for your success. So let's start off right from the very basic. Like, I would want you to share from where have you done your graduation and post graduation forestry, and how you came to know about this NABARD Grade A examination. And especially, yes, if you could tell the aspirant that how good is it for an forestry background to, if they can appear in such examination, what is the career prospect for them?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, starting from my education background from my high school, I did my class 10 from Mano English School in Manipur, and then my higher secondary from Harvard School in Imphal, Manipur, as well. Then I went to Arunachal Pradesh in Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology. I did both my BSc and my MSc. Completed both of them there. So I stayed for 6 years in Arunachal Pradesh. And then after that, I immediately joined my PhD program in Mizoram University. So it's purely in forestry subject. I have done all my career prospect.
Right. So like you're doing like PhD and everything, like you are doing research in forestry, and then like now you're going for an organization, right? So didn't you ever felt like, let me be just professor only, or do you feel like no, NABARD it's actually a good opportunity for aspirant for people from forestry background to showcase their, the knowledge that they have gained and everything?
Uh, yes, ma'am. Actually, when I first cleared my graduation BSc from in Neris, at the time I gave NABARD exam for the first time in 2018, but unfortunately I couldn't go through. Yeah, I was left out in the prelims itself. But after that, I also went into different perspective of my career. Like I appeared IBPS exam also. I appeared UPSC also. I appeared twice. I gave state PSC and even scientist exam. I gave them. So I have a little bit of experience in every
Exam.
job opportunities
Yeah.
exams. But I'm very glad that I gave them, because this journey is not a one day stop. It's like a process.
True.
Whatever exam that we prepared, from every exam we learn our knowledge, our wisdom. It keeps on increasing, and
Yes.
finally today in this exam I was able to go through. So
Yeah, you got the result. It's
I
it's
would
about
say
that.
like we should
Yes, please.
I would say that we should try to be consistent in everything that we do. So that's what I
True.
wanted to say.
True, that perseverance, that okay, don't know that where would I would end up, but with the forestry as my background, I would want to appear as many examination and career prospect as possible, and definitely you will definitely get a result. even if it would take a little time, but you would end up with somewhere in a good place. And sir is a life example of that. Okay, so now let's talk about the NABARD examination, right? First of all, even before talking about the sources and as a specialist candidate, how you can focus for this paper, I really want to ask, like, there was just 2 seats overall that was there for history post, and that too that was in different reservation category, right? So it was like limited, just one number that you had, and for that one post, you were preparing for so many examination, right? And now, and like we can say in a way that you were facing failure, although you were learning, but still, you get disheartened when you can't clear an examination.
Yeah.
Somewhere in heart you have that, somewhere it's there, right? You could not clear even if you dedicated everything to it, right? And then there was one post. Didn't you had that hesitation that there are more chances of failure in this case because that's just one post? Or how did you manage to think at that moment, or how did you convinced yourself that no matter if that's one post or not, if there is chances or not, I am going to give this examination?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in my life itself, I have faced a lot of failures, and not only that, but even in my family itself. My mom passed away in 2019. My dad passed away in 2020. Like consecutive events, and then even after that, there was a time when I feel depressed, and a time where I
Yeah.
thought I would give up everything, like that. But there was one thing that I was during my BSc and MSc in Arunachal Pradesh, there was one T-shirt where we used to make, and then in that T-shirt it was written that "Apna time aayega." Nah, so
Yes.
this quote, it stuck in my mind. It really stuck in my mind for a long time. And then while giving for any exams or while preparing for anything, this thing really give me the motivation that if I work hard and if I persevere, if I struggle, then maybe not today or maybe not very quickly, but at the long run, one day surely that my time will come. So this motivation was there in me. And when the notification came, only 2 seats were there, but I thought that it was good enough. It was good enough, a good enough vacancy for me that if I give it a try, if I give my best, then maybe God will also help me to get this job. And then
And indeed,
मेरा time
he
वो आ
did. Yes, and
yes, that's
आपका time आ गया. That's very
yeah.
beautiful. And that's the officer like quality. Like even if you're failing 100 times, that is to get up at 101 and saying अपना time आएगा, और आपने करके दिखाया and your time has finally come. All right. So now let's talk about the strategies and sources. Okay. So if somebody who is very beginner, who does not know any about the examination, so there come 3 phases. And let me tell you, it's a computer-based test. So in phase one, for a specialist post, if we have to say, so there are 8 subjects, but comparatively to generalist stream, the cutoffs are very less in comparison, like for the specialist post. So, but then you have to give, right? Even if it is lesser, then also you would have to prepare 8 subjects. So there are 8 subjects comprising of quants, reasoning, English, decision making, computer knowledge. This is one section, non-merit. Another is merit section in phase one only, which constitute of general awareness, English, I'm sorry, ESI, economic and social issues, and agriculture and rural development. Now, the catch is that you have to clear the sectional cutoff of all the subjects that are there. But for an overall cutoff, you have to focus on general awareness, ESI, and ARD because from there, the overall merit for phase two is made. Okay. Now, you had in mind, and yes, let me just clear why the sectional cutoffs are less, because it is expected that people belonging to specialist post, or they appearing for specialist post, they must be having better knowledge on their own subject rather than these 8 subjects which are asked in phase one. And for that sake, there is the sectional cutoff is comparatively lesser, and overall cutoff also, right? So did you somewhere strategize that because it is going to be lesser cutoff for you, so you are going to comparatively focus more on phase two rather than phase one? Or you gave your, still you prepared with full dedication because you did not wanted to risk anything, and you just wanted to give your best for phase one as well?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, regarding the preparation for preliminary exams, I had in my mind that obviously the cutoff for the specialist post would be lesser. I knew that because I have seen the past trends from since 2020. I saw the marks, the cutoff that were for the specialist post, and as well as for the generalist post.
Hmm.
So I what I was thinking was that somehow I will try my best to clear this preliminary exam, and then once I go through, then I'll be more comfortable with my specialized subject in the mains exam. So, but having said that, it was still it was still a struggle for me to try to clear that preliminary exam. I have to go through so many YouTube channel, and
Yeah.
then among that, EduTap was the main thing that main channel that I used to follow. I used to see the updates about the schemes, about ARD, and about the current affairs that are going on. But in this matter, since I was an experience for other exams like IBPS, like UPSC and Stat PSC, there I had some like I mentioned before, my knowledge were accumulated little by little, and then somehow the preparation, the notes that I made. Actually, I made the notes for UPSC, but those notes were more in sync with this exam, with NABARD exam. So that I was very lucky in that manner. And then the one good thing, that fortunate thing that happened for me, is that I belong to a ST community, and NABARD arranges a pre-recruitment training for SC and ST community. And then in that pre-recruitment training, they gave us insight about how to attempt the question, what kind of question will come in the actual examinations. They gave only, and they gave some one or two lecture series, very few lecture series, but the main thing was that they gave us the knowledge of what kind of question will come in the actual exam. So, and then they also give us a strategy to attempt like this and like that. So this strategy were also given by the team of EduTap as well, which is quite similar. So those things together, it helped me actually in clearing my preliminary examination.
Preliminary. Right. So it's also for if you belong to SC/ST community. So this is also that you can, to have a takeaway from this particular interview, that NABARD, it has their own training program, pre-recruitment training program. So definitely you can be part of it, where you are just being, given a gist that how to approach the examination. It's not like that they are going to tell you actual questions, but yes, how to properly approach the examination, and definitely you are going to learn something out of it. So do not miss any opportunity that you are getting from the institution itself. So sir followed that, and it really helped him clearing the pre-examination. And did you attempt it like mock test also, or you were busy with the notes of that you must have made during this pre-recruitment training, or maybe the notes that you had for yourself?
Yes, I made those notes. Made notes from this pre-recruitment training also, and from, like I've mentioned, from the YouTube channel
Own
of
notes.
EduTap
Hmm.
also. I've made some notes, and then apart from that, my younger brother, he is from agriculture background, so he used to
Okay.
give me some test series, some suggestions. So I used to attempt those test series. While since I'm doing my PhD as well, I used to go to my lab, and then with my friend, I used to gather them together, and then attempt together. So like it was a group learning process. For they didn't appear, I appeared, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it was beneficial for me. So that
Yeah.
was how I did it.
True. Beautiful. Okay. So when then phase one happened, so like were you certain that you are going to make it to phase two, or you waited for the result first?
For the phase one exam, through, honestly, it was a 50-50% for me. Like I gave my best. I tried to attempt as much as possible, and then even in the training program, they have mentioned that like we try to focus more on the merit section like ARD, ASI, and general awareness, and then you try to attempt only the cutoff section part for the remaining subjects. So what I did was like I tried to attempt maximum in that merit section, and then even in the remaining part, I tried to attempt like 70-80%, not everything, because I could not
Yeah.
manage the time. But somehow I did like that, and then luckily enough, I got through. So I was very happy at the time also.
Right. So maybe some people might be getting confused, aspirant, they must be getting confused, that why we are not giving so much effort for phase one, right? Because ultimately everybody would want to compete for that one seat. So let me tell you, phase one, it is not counted in the final merit list while making the ranking for the final merit list. Final merit list is based on the marks that you've obtained in your phase two as well as the interview. So phase one is just like a screening process. So that is why even if you're appearing for examination, prepare as such that definitely you clear phase 1, but you need not to score like maximum marks that you can get there, because ultimately that would not help you in the longer run, right? Now let's coming to phase 2, and there is where actually the difference is between a generalist as well as a specialist vacancy. So where for a generalist vacancy you have to give two paper 1 consisting of descriptive English, and paper 2 consisting of ESI and ARDS syllabus. Now here in specialist post, paper 1 remains same, that is of descriptive English, but now the syllabus of paper 2 is of your specific stream, and in this case we are talking about forestry. Now here is the challenge, so that you have in front of you. You do not have any previous year question paper available to you, right? So, and it's definitely a tough competition. It's just one seat. Even if only 10 people have filled, and that is just a random assumption I'm making, definitely the number would be more than that. But even if 10 people fighting for one seat, everybody have to work smart, right? Hard is a different thing, but they have to work smart also, because 4 years of studies of forestry in graduation, you can't just sum up everything in 10 or 15 days. So then what, from where did you get that particular source that okay, this is how the questions are asked in examination, and I have to refer to this source to prepare for this examination?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Actually, for mains paper, uh, there are two parts, like ma'am said, for the English portion, and then the
Yeah.
other one is my specialist forestry subject. So for English portion, I enrolled a course in EduTap. I think they gave us discount also, I think, during that time, so it was very helpful. I purchased that course from EduTap, and then they gave us there was detailed knowledge of everything, like photo material, recorded lecture series, and then mock tests, like five six mock tests were there. And then after giving those mock tests, the review, the suggestions, the room for improvement,
Mm.
everything was covered in that course. So the main credit that I should give for getting good marks, I should say, I hope that I get good marks
Mm.
in this, was because of EduTap. They have given me, they have prepared me really well in that aspect. So I'm thankful for that. And coming back to the forestry
Paper 2.
subject,
Mm.
paper 2 forestry subject, like it is usually I was going through past trends, and I was looking into the internet for study material, and then even the past questions and all. But unfortunately, I could not find the study material. I could not find past year's questions, so it was a struggle for me. But luckily, there was one a senior who was working as a consultant in NAPCONs. He contacted an assistant manager, actually, from Uttarakhand, Deepak sir. He's also a specialist forestry as aspirant,
Department.
and then he
Yeah.
got through in that
Mm.
department. So I got to contact him, and then he gave me suggestions, the area where we should focus more. Uh, there are many topics to be covered, but then he gave me he told me that the specific area, like not exactly, but like a broad area, like this. So he told me to study about forest nursery. He told me to study about the biodiversity, the basic concepts of forestry. So those questions similar to what he have said, it came in the actual examination. So that is a great takeaway. And then I'm very thankful to Deepak sir also for that piece of advice.
Right. Right. Okay. So if you want to share with the aspirant, like what sort of questions, like for example, you gave a general idea that core topics need to be learned. But like if you could little bit expand more depending on the questions that were asked to you, right? Like for example, these were the questions were asked to me, and this is how the approach that you can follow, right? If you could share or give guidance to the aspirants watching this particular interview.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there on the actual day of examination, there were 6 questions, 3 questions for 15 mark, and then 3 questions for 10 mark. And then among that 3 questions for 15 mark, we have to choose two, and among the
Yeah.
3 questions for 10 mark, we have to choose two.
Mm.
So one 15 mark questions and one 10 mark questions, it came from forest nursery. Like that is the
Okay.
basic the very foundations of forestry. So like how what is forest nursery, what are the different layouts,
Dimensions.
how
Yeah. Mm.
yeah, how dimensions, how we have to prepare a nursery bed, and then what are the requirements like agronet and all these things. Like they ask everything in detail, and then they ask about the germinative capacity and about how pollination is done, how fertilization is done. Like it's like the things which are as a forestry student, those are the subjects which we should know. That is
Right.
the basic concept. So in the descriptive part, most of the questions were not very
Specific. Like they were,
application type.
yeah, they were more like generic where you can actually like write 400 or 600 words.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Easily, like if you read on it, and then if you're prepared, well prepared, then you can easily write whatever the number of words that they ask. But again,
Right.
when it comes to the
Mm.
objective part is a little bit more specific, more detailed. It's very if you haven't come across that question, or if you haven't read that topic, that means you won't be able to answer that specific question in objective part. So objective would be a bit tougher, but I would suggest if you can read some MCQs books which are
Mm.
readily available for that purpose.
Yeah. Right, so that would help them. Like, because
Yes,
in MCQs practice books, there is a lot of specificity questions, specific questions are there, and even in explanation, a lot of other information is provided. So that is going to help them in the exam. But all in all, the objectives are more specific in nature, while the
yes,
subjective is something where it's like the broader topic is given and where you can easily write 400 to 600 words. Okay, so, sir, as you said that for 10 marks also there was a nursery based question and in 15 marks also, right? So, if somebody has
yes.
written once in 10 marks, then wasn't it like difficult for you to again rethink something new, like for in 15 marks, or you added the previous information a little more, you added the new one?
uh Ma'am, like the questions that was asked in the 15 mark and the 10 mark, there was a slight difference. Like
Okay.
for example, in the 15 mark, they're asking about the objectives of nursery and
Mm.
about the definition, and like it's like kind of more like a definition based type, and then objective, and then uh, layout type.
Yeah.
But again,
What are the
when it
different
comes to
types and everything? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but then in the 10 mark questions, it's about this like germinative capacity and
Okay,
about the
okay.
interconnections and all these things. So a little bit of difference was there. So
Right.
if you are well prepared, then we can answer both the answer like easily, I should say.
Right. Okay. And there's also one challenge I think which aspirant from forestry background might have, that is to maintain a typing speed, right? So for that, did you had any approach? Because as we are talking, we it's very evident that you started preparing after notification, and for paper 2 also, phase 2 also, you started you prepared after the result of phase 1, so you had very limited 10 to 15 days you had for phase 2. So in that you have to revise the content as well, for objective, descriptive, and then you have to focus on descriptive English as well, and then now we are talking about typing speed also. So could you please guide the aspirants how they can have a good pace in typing so that they can type in the examination?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, for this regarding this preparation at the speed and for the mains exam, if an aspirant is from a specific specialized background, then they need to focus more on the typing speed. Like for example, the English course that I've purchased, that is like kind of the that includes even for my particular subject also. Even though if there's no specific topic in the English section, while we're practicing for that mock test and all these things, uh, automatically when we are typing for the specialist paper also, it becomes more easier, it becomes more faster. So what I did was like immediately after the prelims result was declared, I immediately purchased this course, and then I sat down, I read my subject also
Yeah.
hand in hand, and at one time I started practicing the mock test. We was already there in the course, like there were 5 mock tests were given there. So I took one mock test at a day, and then I practiced, at first I couldn't make it.
Mm.
The time was very limited. But then again, the second time somehow I could make it. But then again, that time I couldn't check. But in the third time, like somehow I could make it, and then the content also became little by little better, and it keeps on improving. So I would highly recommend like this English course, especially for the specialist post. If you buy this English course, then it will help you in the scoring good marks in English, and it will be helpful while typing your actual specialized subject in the afternoon session also.
Right. All right.
So
So the course really helped you, and of course, one thing that you did was to have constant practice. And with that constant
yes,
practice, gradually you could see that now it's being easier for you to type comparatively before. All right. So that was about your
yes,
phase
ma'am.
two. Okay, a phase two, and then after that, were you expecting your roll number for phase two for interview call?
Ma'am, compared to my phase one and phase two, in phase one, it was a 50-50. But when it comes to phase two, I was quite confident because I have been studying forestry for the past 8-9 years. Like I did
Yeah.
graduation, I did masters, and I'm doing my currently doing my PhD. So I had some basic knowledge about forestry. So on the day of exam itself, also after typing everything, I was very confident. And even in English, I could somehow be mentally prepared of the sudden change in the word limit. Like because of the practice, it helped me to complete all those questions, even the English part on time. So I was
Yeah.
hopeful. And then if I say that I was 50-50 in phase one, in phase two, I was like more than 90%. I was hoping that I would go through. So it was like that, man.
All right. And then it was the next, it was time for interview. All right.
Yeah.
So for interview, first of all, I would want to know like how many days or months did you get? And then what was your next plan? How to prepare for the interview section?
Yes, ma'am. The results for phase two, it came on just prior to Christmas. So Christmas and New Year we were celebrating. I didn't practice at that time, but immediately after New Year, from January 2, 2024, I started preparing. I started making notes, and while and I gave and even there, EduTap was helpful enough to give us a free interview guidance, and I enrolled for the interview guidance. I went through the recorded material, and then the interview ethics, how to enter a room, how to sit, how to dress up, and all these things. So and on January 30, I think I gave one mock interview through this platform, and then that in mock interview give me a better perspective of how to prepare. And fortunately and luckily enough for me, my specialized post, my date of interview was on 14th February, so I have ample of time. I should say like more than a month
Yeah.
I had. So I could make notes, I could revise, I could go through it again and again. And then that mock interview that I gave on January 30 was also an eye opener for me. There were some certain aspects which I didn't know that I should prepare, but that helped me to prepare more in more focused manner. And then on
Yeah.
the actual day of interview, it was like uh, good
It
one.
helped you. Yeah.
It helped
All
me.
right.
It helped me.
So you said that you were making notes, right? What sort of note you were making and from what sources you were making?
Yes, ma'am. Well, since I was also in a part of that course, interview guidance course by EduTap. There,
Mm.
they were giving us suggestions and inputs that the gold mines are out there, like the YouTube channels are out there, and then even to read the annual reports, and then even NABARD's
Websites,
website.
I
So
guess. Mm.
yeah, websites and all. So I went there according to the instruction given in the course given by EduTap. I went there, and then I went through the vision, the mission, the subsidiaries, and then the bankable project. I read those, and then even the annual
Mm.
report. Even though I'm from specialized background, I went through the annual reports like at least once or twice. I went
Mm.
through, and then uh, in the actual interview, they asked more on our subject, but then mentally I was prepared even for other aspects of the exam as well.
True, true. And that's what every aspirant should follow, even if they're going for specialist post, that you
Mhm.
from your end should be ready for any sort of question. Now, that
Yes,
can be from generic NABARD about its mission or vision or anything, like, or even the generic question that can be asked, but because you don't want to lose any chance, right? Okay. So now when the real day, like D-Day for the interview, it came. So, how did it go, and what sort of questions like did they ask, considering you were from a specialist background?
Yes, ma'am. Like on the day, actual day of interview, mm, when I reached there, and while we were going through for document verification, at first they told me that my interview would be serial number 16 or 17. So I have ample of time. Aram karo, they were telling me like that, and then I was
Hmm.
sitting, but while going through the document verification, suddenly they
Hmm.
called me. They called me, so in a very hurried manner, I just went up. I didn't even have give time to go for number one. They just let me into the room, but somehow just while I was just about to enter the room, I remember the coaching that I watched in the recorded video, that about the ethics while entering the room. We
Yeah.
shouldn't go just directly go and sit in the chair. Like I was entering the room, and then before sitting nearby the chair, I was standing, and then I was wishing the panel member, and then there was a pause for some time, but they were quite happy. It seems that followed some ethics, and then they told me to take a seat, and then uh, I took the seat, and
Started.
then
Yeah.
it started off in a very good note, actually, the interview. And the questions that were asked were like more the first panel member, she asked me more questions more on my current topic, the PhD thesis that I'm doing, well,
Hmm.
how I'm doing my field work, how I'm analyzing my data, and
Hmm.
then what suggestion, how it will be helpful for the forestry aspects, and then so follow-up questions regarding that. So
Hmm.
and then the second panel, she asked me questions about mm, forestry model, forestry model, and luckily enough, I when I came across a video in EduTap YouTube channel about agroforestry, and that's why I was able to explain properly about what is agroforestry, what are the benefits, what are the different types, and then how it's helpful. So I could explain, and most of the questions were also again follow-up questions on
Hmm.
agroforestry. So yeah, it went well. And then the last panel member, the third panel member, sir, he was the one who asked me a little bit in sync with NABARD. He asked me about the role played by NABARD with regards to forestry. So
Hmm.
I thought, since I read from the website about the Department of Climate Action and Sustainability, I mentioned in detail about the Green Climate Fund, about the adaptation fund that NABARD is being the national implementing entity, the direct access entity. So after mentioning all these things, Sir was quite happy. It seems he was a bit impressed, and I was also very happy. And then after that, he asked me questions about that bankable project, a forestry project which is bankable. So these questions was expected, actually. The boxer, he already told me that, like, most probably they might ask you a bankable project also.
Hmm.
So I read about poplar and bamboo from the NABARD website about the bankable project, and then I gave in detail about the bamboo. So they were very happy. They stopped me midway while I was explaining, and then they said that my interview was over. And so it went really well, I should say. Mm.
All right. Okay. So after that, it's good that your interview was at the later time, because then you did not have to wait much for the result. But still, like, till the time the result
Yes, ma'am.
comes,
Yes, ma'am.
you must have been.
Mm.
I won't say you would be at ease or calmness, right? There must be things that are going on in your mind.
Yes. Ma'am, actually, after my interview, we had our community, we had a social work for 1 week. So to ease my mind, I joined the social work. I was working every day, like we were doing some works for our community and all. So
Hmm.
I was there for 5 6 days, and then I rested for 1 day, and on the seventh day, my interview was on Wednesday, and the next Wednesday the result came, and then I was very nervous. But and funny thing is that when I first look at my result, uh, the row number arrangement was in the vertical line. So I was looking in
Yeah.
horizontal when I couldn't find my row number.
Okay.
I was very sad actually. At first, I thought
Hmm.
my row number was not there, but
Hmm.
when I looked for the second time or third time, at that time I could see my row number, and then there though I was already jumping.
Right. It must have been very disheartening, first looking at the numbers and not finding yours. But at least, chalo, you saw it, you rechecked it. Otherwise, you would have got to know, I think, from then coaching centers only that okay, you have cleared the exam.
Yeah, actually, but the time span was like within a minute, so somehow it sinked in very
Yeah,
quickly. Actually, I was quite happy and
right.
nostalgic. Mm.
Now even in the family, everybody must be happy.
Yes, everyone, our family, we are a joint family, so all of us we are here together, and then we are celebrating. I mean, every day. So it's
Till the time you'll join the office, I think it's going to be celebration every day.
yeah, yeah. Most probably it would be like that.
All right. That was it about the interview. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us and sharing your views. At the end, I would like you to say something to the aspirants who belong to forestry stream and who could have this, good career option for them. Ended up being in a prestigious institution like NABARD Grade A, or NABARD organization. So, if you could say something to them.
Okay, ma'am. Before I say about that, I like to say like once again, thank you to EduTap team for helping me even in the mains exam and even in the interview guidance program. So that really helped me. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. And then like regarding the advice that I want to give for the experience is that like for the especially for the forestry experience, NABARD is one of the best organization that you can join. There are other things like assistant professor, scientist, or even UPSC IFS we can give. But if NABARD is a organization with a good great career perspective, we have a space to grow, and then not only that, we can utilize our specialized
True.
subject as well as can have an impact on the rural development, rural economy. And me from a rural background, I'm really happy that I'm able to get a job here in this organization. And for all the experience as a whole, I would like to say that like our life is not like a race. It's not about speed. I would like to say that it's like a marathon. It's all about perseverance. It's all about endurance, and it's about the strong mentality. So we should. Rome was not built in a day. Nah, there is a
Yeah.
saying that Rome was built in a day. So we have to keep on working hard. And then there is one line that I want to quote from this one. I have just written it down
Yeah.
by Percy Shelley. It says that just two line. It says that if winter is here, can spring be far behind, right? So
Wow.
our process, the working, the struggle is it's like winter, but when success come, it's like the spring season. Nah?
True.
So if winter is here, can spring be far behind? So
और
I like
अपना
to,
टाइम आएगा.
or I'm
Yeah.
not time. So I like to end on this note. So thank you very
Yeah.
much. Mm.
Okay. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best for your future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Vidya.